Tuli mu Parliament kakiiko ka Cosase ababaka abatuula akakiiko ako bagobye Ssegona Medadi nga bamulanga Kulira Nguzi. Ono bamulangidde mu lwatu mu lujjudde nti naave ku bwakame ku bwa chairman bwa Cosase nti yalidde Nguzi ya Wangadya kubanga badde bakuba ebibuuzo Wangadya ebyokutobola eddembe ly'obuntu ng'ate Ssegona awolereza Wangadya kyokka nga Ssegona wa National Platform ng'akimanyi nti Wangadya yavunvubika n'omusango President Kyagulanyi gwe yatwala mu kakiiko akeddembe ly'obuntu omuli emisango gy'abaana ba Nuupu abatulugunyizibwa bawambibwa abantu baabwe omuli Kyagulanyi okumugaana okuyimba byonna emisango egiri egya National Platform agimanyi bulungi nti omukyala oyo badde bamufunye nga balina okumukunya naye yadde amuwolereza kubanga baamuwadde Nguzi. Kati nno wanabaka basinze ne bagamba nedda ssebo otukulaba walidde ebintu byokola walidde oli mu kuwolereza Wangadya kati vaayo omumyuka watuule waawo. Ssegona atuyanye nti yone zimuyitamu ne yeekazaakaza ne bamugamba vaayo oli mubbi oli muli wa Nguzi walidde Nguzi ndowooza bye bisatu bye batadde mu mmotoka bakanabe be babba abantu bakambwe ate no baka Parliament ba NRM bulijja bawaana be bamutabukidde ku luno. Katutandike tubirabe bwe tuti.
They should tell us if what has happened this year when they are being lobbied, if it was the same practice in the previous years and how much they were paying because they never reported. Yes, because they were getting money after lobbying. Now the practice has come, it has yielded to them. So their practice of budget is very important. It was the tradition, Mr. Chairman, that they would pay some members of Parliament to get increased the budget, to enhance the budget. And why did they report in the area?
Okay. I will only sustain a portion. And I would not want to interrogate an issue.
Can she deny?
No.
She's the chairman.
I thought
it is the public knowledge that she voted members.
You did.
Can she now deny?
You did ask me to allow you finish so that I can guide.
But you would guide when she has also committed because you are on one side.
No. I must guide the proceedings. Is someone raising a point of order? Yes, Honorable Swami.
Use the microphone.
Honorable Swami, on a point of order?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Raise matters of this committee, raise matters which are not only sub judice but are prejudicial. I think we should really focus on the report specifically because we're interrogating that.
Now you want me to guide on 2 points,
yeah,
which is what I am doing. Vis-a-vis what you're raising as a recording, I think are substantive matters of evidence in a court of law. I would guide that we will not discuss them. Number 2, I would also guide that we avoid any matter that is prejudicial, because this committee will not be prejudiced or even be prejudiced with regard to issues relating to our colleagues. We want to be fair to these witnesses because the recording the Honorable Kwizera is talking about is not before this committee. We don't even know the contents. And you know, the law on electronic evidence requires that you must give me the evidence first and I verify it to be authentic before I admit it. To that extent, there anything to do with that so-called electronic recording or recording of any nature is expunged from the record of this committee. Honorable Sawanyana.
Thank you, colleague, Honorable Segirinya. She came and found us in a dire state of life. But when she came out of prison, to the media, she reported that we are very okay, we are just pinched. But up to now, my colleague, Honorable Segirinya, is fighting for life in Nairobi. So I go to the point of Honorable Kwizera of accountability issues which have been raised in the media, whether it is true that it is only this year that they have been lobbied, or they have been lobbying them, but of course, because the ones who have been lobbying them are their friends, they could not report to police as they have done in this current matter, which is being handled by police. I thank you for your guidance, Mr. Chairman.
I like the idea of thanking me to be able to compare your state of health with what she said, which is also not before this committee. Well, you see, be guided because you have asked me for guidance. And you even thanked me, meaning you trust me. No, Honorable Itungo, she will not answer what I do not consider appropriate. What she said before the press, you will listen to me, Honorable Sawanyana. What she said before the press is not before the committee. Number two, of course, so many institutions of government have been rendered naked with respect to the health of prisoners. And these institutions include the court. I mean, where courts say you have not proved that your health warrants being released on bail. And then someone ends up in the form and shape of the Honorable Sejirinya. But we will not import those external and extraneous pieces of evidence into this committee, especially when you are not a competent witness. Competent witness means who? That person that has been called by this committee to give evidence. And today the competent witnesses we have, Mrs. Wangadya and her team. My members here are not witnesses. They can only ask questions and not give me evidence. So, as to what she said about your state of health, unfortunately, I'm afraid, we may not be competent to handle it here. With respect to other people, they have not reported to police. Again, that evidence is prejudicial, not sub judice, but prejudicial to the proceedings without witnesses today. I will still rule that out of order and expunge it. Here we are, impartial recipients of evidence from our witnesses. I already guided with respect to budget and budget performance. Those questions will be answered. Anything beyond, I'm afraid we will not entertain. Honorable Itungo.
And you are guiding with respect to you as a chair. And that means members will be tempted to answer questions outside in the press. So my view is, if the lady is here and they're asking questions and she has knowledge, let her make a comment and we proceed. Rather than she accepts or she denies and we proceed. Otherwise, chair, when you guide and guide, we shall go outside and we address the press.
Listen to what I did not write. May you address your minds to the provisions of Rule 199 of our rules. In particular, number 1, sub-rule 1, subject to any instructions by the House. The deliberations of every committee shall be confined to the matter referred to it by the House, and in the case of the committee on a bill, the bill committed to it, and any relevant amendments. Honourable members, your questions must be answered, but only to the extent that they are relevant to the issues placed before us. Many of you, as the Honourable Sawanyana said, may be victims of the so many errant members of government You could even be victims of Madam Wangadya's activity or inactivity. But to the extent that the activity or inactivity is not directly relevant to the matters before us, I implore you to accept my guidance. It will not be answered. Let me ask that prerogative, yes. But it is my duty to preserve the sanctity of my record.
Yes.
And that one I'm very unrelenting. Finally, on the issue of addressing the press, I am not one of those in this government that guard press freedom. Outside the committee, say anything subject to the law. I have no business with what you say outside the rules. Honorable Atua, and you are delaying. But in relation, can we allow them to answer these questions, then we go to external funding because it's a substantive issue.
Oh.
Thank you. Now, it's a yes or no. That one, I will not protect you. No, it is a fair question.
Mr. Chair, you've now changed the character.
No, the character is not brought into question. Honorable Sewanyana, turn off that microphone. Madam Chairperson, Human Rights Commission, I guide the proceedings here. Where unfair questions have been asked, I have protected you and told you not to answer. That one is a fair question because it relates to the performance and functionality of the commission. Is it true some of your commissioners come armed in the commission or not? Yes, I'm guiding you. You asked a question, you don't want to listen. Would you want to listen to those that have asked or listened to you? The question was that she said it, so it is up to her to say it is true I said it or not. Simple. Madam Chairperson, is it true you said your commission has come armed or not?
I choose to keep quiet.
You don't need to complicate, then it's the proceedings. Do you have an answer? You don't? Be on record. Please be on record.
Mr. Chairperson, the
question is unfair. I'm not in a position to know who is armed and who is not.
So it is not true you ever said it?
I ever said it.
You ever said it?
Yes. But
have you since verified?
I have no capacity to tell who is armed and who is not. And I request to be treated fairly.
Yes. You have my utmost assurance of fair treatment. That's why I have protected you where I felt, as your chair, you are unfairly treated. And I proceeded to expunge and required you not to answer. We have an answer.
Honorable Chair, for the person accountable for everybody seated this side, the ones you refer to as competent witnesses is Madam Wangadya. And that whoever has been talking to us has been talking to us through her. She's responsible for all the statements made from her team. She was even free to refer questions to various people on her team. Now, isn't this one of those instances whereby if on her own she knows nothing, maybe she takes time to inquire whoever is responsible in her team, or they reorganize themselves. They ask amongst themselves whether anybody is armed, so that she comes with a competent answer. Otherwise,
no.
The nature of work carried out here can easily get somebody annoyed on the other side, and we may not be very secure.
That's not true. Honorable Madam Wangadya said whether somebody is armed or not. We have an answer, whatever it's worth.
Procedure, Mr. Chairman. Procedure.
Procedure takes precedence, Honorable Kulira.
Because this committee invited the accounting officer. Madam Wangadya is not the accounting officer.
Factually, you are not right.
Let me first.
We invited her by letter.
That's by mistake anyway.
No.
Because, Mr. Chairman,
you are ruled out of order.
Documents.
Switch off that microphone and receive guidance. Please be guided.
Mr. Chairman, the
switch off.
Accounting officer.
Honorable President, switch off that microphone. We sat here, proceedings of this committee, and get away with it. You are ruled out of order. Honorable Kumari.
I have been seeing you guiding this committee very well, and I know why you are doing that, because you want us to be fair. Even when the members feel that you are unfair, for me, I think you are guiding the committee well. But I just want you on the other side, Chair, to guide Madam Wangadya, that when she comes to appear in this committee of Parliament, the Committee of Accountability, she must be accountable, especially when you ask her to respond. This issue of saying, I cannot answer that, to me, I think it is unfair. I think it will not help us. And that's why we are seeing the tempers of members raising up. I just want to appeal to her to respect this committee. This is not the Human Rights Commission that she shares. We invited her here to respond to issues of accountability. And therefore, I implore her to do the same.
Will be protected. Honorable Keyo, and you are the last, and we must allow witnesses to answer. As far as I'm
in whatever we are doing, we must see to be fair. But Honorable Chair, there was a second part of that question, because we are looking at accountability. Does this occurrence have an impact on the budget, on the implementation of the activities of the tribunal? That was the second part.
Honorable Okeyo, the witness had started. You took over the microphone. All these questions that I have guided will be answered. So question one has been answered that way. Sorry?
Doesn't affect you. For her to answer before she has said,
okay.
She has ever said it. How is it affect the tribunal, the performance?
Would you like to answer that?
For the tribunal backlog are documented in my writer.
Don't even forget that we have not admitted the document on record. You are a lawyer. Affected by the rules. And don't feel stampeded. I'm sure you as a judge, because you sit somewhere as a judge, you know the value of impressions. Proceed.
We sometimes face challenges of forums caused by expiration of contracts of members.
Procedure.
Thank you, Chair, for this committee. The protection you are trying to give Madam Wangadya is as if she is so special, different from others. As a matter of fact, Chair, I will request you to handle her like any other chairperson who has appeared, so that if she is supposed to answer, let her answer. Or the chair steps aside and we have the vice chair take over so that we can handle her like any other person.
With the rules that govern this house, and particularly this committee where I sit here, you cannot raise on a point of procedure which is unseconded anyway, because it's not a motion competent. Then the next thing is you give an opinion. Avoid being opinionated, and in future I'll be strict on enforcing the rule 86 that I've had in silence. Madam Wangadya, you can see you want to contest the rule. I did not write it. This is Wangadya. Make my work easy, and I'll make your life easy. When you leave where you're seated, for me, I'm going to remain here. And you can anticipate how I'm going to be treated. No, I am not giving her any special treatment. Each case is treated on its own merits. If you have questions to ask her, she's here. But those questions, one must be within the purview of the law, and they must be fair. The custodian of that decision is not far from you. He is here, and that is me. So I will continue guiding you very well, even when someone comes in a little late and assails my impartiality. I am going to remain impartial. Madam Wangadya, the question that has been asked again as a follow-up by the Vice Chair is whether those issues have an effect on backlog. And you tell us whether they are of no consequence.
The answer is no.
Okay. I would implore you, colleagues, that you have sufficient evidence to decide whether yes or no on your record. We must make progress. The answer is no. Those reverberations and vibrations are of no consequence to the performance of the Commission. She will proceed to tell us the matters of consequence to the performance of the Commission as she was proceeding.
Most obliged, Chairman. Since it's a very short brief, these are the causes for the backlog. Over the years, the Commission has faced the challenges of lack of quorum caused by expiration of contracts of members and death of some members of the Commission. The Uganda Human Rights Commission is the constitutional body which has been affected most by death of commissioners over the years. Article 51 clause 2 provides that the commission shall be composed of a chairperson and not less than 3 other persons. At any one time, the membership of the commission falls below the quorum as set by the Constitution, then the commission is not fully constituted. In fact, the commission is defined as the chairperson and at least 3 members of the commission. So the lack of quorum has affected implementation of various activities, including tribunal hearings. The longest period the commission went without conducting tribunal hearings was 2 years, and this was when the then chairperson, Honorable Medica Bwa, died in 2019. It took 2 years for a new chairperson and members of the commission to be appointed. Consequently, the tribunal caseload increases when the commission cannot conduct sessions. 2, unlike the judiciary, which has many judicial officers, who are deployed and charged with hearing cases countrywide. The Commission is the sole quasi-judicial tribunal of its kind in the country, with the mandate to adjudicate complaints of alleged human rights violations. The tribunal panel cannot be in several places at the same time. Tribunal hearings can only be conducted in one regional office at a time and not simultaneously in several regional offices. And at any one time, they have to be chaired personally by the chairperson. Unlike before, when tribunal sessions were presided over by single commissioners, the practice has since changed to sessions being presided over by a panel. This was a result of an advisory that was issued to us by the learned Attorney General, in which he advised that the Commission should always be fully constituted at all times during the hearings, lest they could be challenged. The sporadic funding for our sessions has affected the pace at which the Commission resolves cases. Hearings are solely funded by the justice, law and order sector, and not the government of Uganda. The nature of this funding framework is that funds are allocated to institutions when the donors who contribute to the sector make the funds available. When the funds are not available, the Commission cannot conduct tribunal sessions. The Commission offers its services to the public free of charge at every stage of the complaint handling process. This has led to an avalanche of complaints being lodged at the Commission by indigent persons who cannot ordinarily afford the services of the Lawyer Institute, cases in courts of judicature. The high case backlog has led to caseload has led to backlog, especially where challenges like logistical constraints and intermittent funding persist. We wish to assure this committee of our utmost commitment and dedication to dispose of cases at the tribunal, especially now that we are fully constituted. Steps are being taken to weed out non-starter cases, which include cases where the evidence is insufficient and where complainants cannot be traced in spite of our best efforts to physically locate them.
Of the Commission, who is responsible for the performance of the Commission and who failed his part for this non-performance. Because non-performance, when the budget is there, means you have saved some money. We want to see over time how much money was returned to Treasury because there was non-performance.
What is your question?
She has had.
Sorry?
Mr. Chairman,
that one is expunged.
After she has...
I have guided you, Honorable Kwizera. You are senior enough. No. Switch off the microphone. I have guided you. We were well advised in our meeting when we decided to invite her. And please do not derail us. That one is expunged.
So can we
proceed with the answering of the other questions, please?
We are...
And the Honorable Chagulanyi.
In others in that generic stream, those that do not require your refunds.
The practice, the general practice is we pay transport refunds to each and every witness or complainant who appears before the Commission, except when they don't want to take the transport refunds. And I don't know the figures which had been budgeted for the witnesses in these two cases. Maybe Ida can help me ask.
Not only two cases, all cases which did not require refund and which did not take refund. Ida?
Thank you, Honorable Chairperson. That retired Colonel Kizabesije signed for his transport refund along with his witnesses. The Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi opted not to take transport refund, but in the event that the transport refund is not taken, it's usually rebanked in Bank of Uganda on the JELOS account. But for those two cases, we have proof that retired Colonel Kiza Besige signed for his transport refund.
Next question, please answer.
Forward. 2023. Sorry. Yes, 2023. Again, I request either to.
Honorable Chairperson, it is my humble request that you allow us to submit this information by Friday of the age of the cases that we have in our caseload.
Granted. Next question.
Thank you, Honorable.
How much money?
We respectfully
submit
that we have not failed to perform. We have not non-performed, in other words. So
Mr. Chairman, I don't want to annoy you.
I am not even annoying.
I'm saying the witness said they had some challenges of death and the members who are not there. And for 2 years, they never performed. And as a result, Uganda suffered. But the budget was never reduced because you budget for performance. So during those years when they were not performing because of those challenges, how much money did they save? And taking back a question. Secondly, who is held accountable for their non-performance as the result of poor manpower planning? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that one is not annoying, and I can't.
So can you smile?
Are you happy, brother?
And even those ones you had expanded, you bring them back.
No. Those I expanded will not find their way back. No, I think, Honorable Kwizera, your question is legit.
And we will answer that other than Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi, Dr. Colonel Kiza Besige signed for that money. So the committee was interested in knowing where the money that Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi didn't take. So where is that money exactly? So the answer we got is that it was transferred to the treasury.
It was rebanked to the Bank of Uganda.
Yeah, so while listening to her, we were also looking at the documents to see whether they are fully aware that money meant to be a refund for Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi was actually sent back to Bank of Uganda. Unfortunately, the documents don't speak so. So we want to know exactly where this money is. When you look at the cash flows, that is page 11.
Well,
statement.
Please hold your fire. Yes, Mr. Tebu said of jeering when a member is asking a question. We will stand over for 10 minutes. Stretch your legs. We are coming back to do accountability on the
Medad Lubega Ssegona Kalya Magwa ndowooza ensonga ze muziwulidde yeekubira alina oludda ekiraga nti Wangadya amulabyemu ne bakolamu Wangadya bamulabyemu ne bamwayo kasente nti tombuuza nnyo bibuuzo era mprotectinga era amuprotectinze ne bamugambye ssebo tuviire vice w'oyo ekintu akikwatemu kuba tulaba nti nno ate ggwe ensonga engeri ozikuttemu asiwe zirina okukwatibwamu neyeebuzaabuza prejudice naye nga bo bamutabukidde bagamba nedda ssebo ekyo si kyekyakuleeseza si kyekyakufuula chairperson w'akakiiko kano abyokola biraga kyekubiira obitaddemu kyekubiira olina side olina oludda owagira Wangadya kyokka nga mukozi wa bikolobero. Affe tukimanyi nti Wangadya ono mukozi wa bikolobero era bingi byakoze okulemesa okutobola eddembe ly'obuntu naye kati abantu bano tujja balabiranga ku bikolwa byabwe president bwe yatugamba kati beeraga beeyubula balaga ddala kyekituufu kye bali bulijjo batwekwekamu nga beebuzaabuza batugamba kino batugamba kiri naye kati ensi ebaanise ensi ebalabidde ddala ensi ebeetegereza tibannaye bano abantu bulijjo baatutimba bbula naye nga balina ebyabwe ebirala ebigendererwa byabwe nga si byakujjako General Museveni kati nno ekirungi nti ensi ebategedde kyekyomulembe kye tulina era Munnayuganda sanyukako kino Kyagulanyi Mukama yamutuwa alabisizza abasajja kale byebyo mbaagala nnyo Mukama bakuume tujja kuba tuddamu kanange mweraba